Hello and welcome to this webinar. This one's exciting. They're all exciting, of course, but this one is the newest concept that we can actually put our heads around for the impact and technology we can use AI for in our business. I'm going to be talking about agents and chatbots in plain business terms. So let's get right into it. So what are they? What are agents? So an easy analogy is to think of an AI chatbot as a greeter at your front door for employees or for customers. So new employees, someone that's going to greet them and walk them through things, what we call onboarding, or clients, whether it's your client coming in as a new client or whether it's customer service. So we talk about a front desk experience. And then the AI agent, what's that? That's basically your people in the office, your back end activity that's happening, your activity. So some people will describe it as AI as a chatbot, but AI agents have the arms and legs where they can go into your files and return emails and things like that. So an AI agent, as I said, it's like a chatbot. It's like a digital assistant that chats with people in real time, usually from your website. That's where we're seeing many of them, but also from social media. People are using it there or on messaging apps. It answers questions, it books appointments, so you can give it access to different calendaring systems, collects information. A lot of people are now using it as lead management, and it's also a help desk manager. So assistant, a help desk person. So you'll be helping people with their frequently asked questions on any level, but also you can measure it. And the type of reports you can get from an AI chatbot is significant. So you need to think about the type of work it'll save you, where the human that normally did that work can now do something a little more strategic, but also the reports it'll have. Someone will give you, what's going on with them, so you'll be able to capture that in a report. How many of these kind of calls have we had, or website requests for this kind of customer service request, or interest in a certain product line. So it's quite exciting, the kind of reports and insight you can get on your business now and how your clients are thinking. So the agent, like we said, it's more like a back office doer, the AI doer. An agent doesn't just chat, doesn't just as a understatement, but doesn't just get information and collect information. It actually takes action. It can read emails, but it can do more than that. It can actually think. So it can read an email from a client. It can read all your emails. I have my agents looking at all of my emails every morning, every single email I receive, and telling me which are important and which are not. So it's reading them all and deciding which emails are important, which ones, and then it's deciding how I might want to respond to the important ones. And it actually prioritizes them for me as they are actually now sorted by priority and by date required. So that's huge, right? So it's not just acting, it's thinking. So you have this AI agent that can read your emails, update your customer relationship management systems, send reports, create content, create appropriate content, not just cookie cutter content, and connect apps together. Am I blowing my mind here? Yes, it can actually connect apps together. So it might be reading an email, then connecting it to your CRM tool by putting in information that it's finding on some of the emails that it's read. And it's going to appropriately now perhaps go back to your email and reply appropriately. So it's pretty amazing, right? So think of it as a really smart employee that is always there and can work behind the scenes. It can think behind the scenes, not just talk like a chatbot. So you might think, well, we've always had For many years now, we've had like the little bubble that shows up saying, "How can I help you?" on websites. This is true, but they weren't AI. So what's the difference, you might say? Well, an old frequently asked question chatbot was script only. It could only respond to fixed questions. It had to have the questions match. So if someone asked a question a little differently, they would not understand how to answer it. So the questions had to be asked a certain way. But now our AI chatbots, of course, understand natural language. So it understands what somebody means when it's speaking to it in a certain way. And it's not just searching a fixed database for a response, it's looking dynamically through the material you give it. What material you give it, what do I mean? So you can train a chatbot with websites, with certain documentation, with just knowledge that you have that you may want to type to it while you're training it. Also, what happens is it gives you reports and it sends information to you as this is how I answered this question, this is how I answered that question. And you may decide, well, I'd like you to answer it this way, or here's some more resource that you obviously need to answer it better next time. So you're training your chatbot to be answering it the way you want it to be answered. So think of that even further. What will happen with some of the chatbot apps that are out there, not only will it, perhaps it's new and you've just fed it the information it needs to know, but you've given it limited information. So it's the human is asking it information in natural language, but it's not seeing the information answer anywhere. So it will then say, sorry, I don't have enough information to answer that. It can do one of two things now. It can say, would you like to talk to a human? So then you need to, if you're training your chatbot to give itself the option to let your human client talk to a human, then you need to let it know how and who to get in touch with in your company. So part of the workflow will be when you're first creating your chatbot, what is it trained with? And so where are the answers coming from? That's why you're training it. And then if it does not see the answer there, or the person is an insistent in wanting further information, will you give them the option of a human? If so, who and how? What's the person's email or phone number that you want it to share to your humans that are calling the chatbot or that are texting the chatbot? Pretty cool, right? So it's pretty amazing. So there's no flexibility in the old one to think that way. And here we have more flexibility. The old one was purely reactive and could only answer. Your new one, the the AI chatbot, can take action, and based on what's happening in the chat, it could actually do some more activity versus only answer. It can book a meeting. It can send a CRM update. It can send emails. So it can do more things than simply answer. The old one felt robotic, obviously. The new one it's supposed to feel like a helpful human. So it's supposed to have a sense of humor if you want it to be funny. It's supposed to actually respond in different tones where you're able to train it how you want it to sound. So now think of that culturally, because it would sound differently in a different language. It would have different innuendos in different cultures. So it actually is smart enough to do that kind of shift. And there are chatbots also that will answer in many different languages, where when you're training it, you can actually have the chatbot have an option to have your your client human interact in several different languages if you want. Pretty cool, right? So who has actually, think about it, have you used an AI agent? You probably have, maybe in what you do at work now. They're not as prevalent out there as they will be. Their AI agents are fairly new into our workforce, but people are looking at any process that they repeat 2 or 3 times a day, And those are the things that they're turning into, that they're giving to an AI agent. So if it's something they say that is repetitive at least 5 times through a day, if it's 5 times through a day, you should consider taking a step back and creating an AI agent for that, what we're calling it, workflow. And I'll show you how we do that shortly. A chatbot. I think we've all experienced chatbots when we are calling into help desks because there are verbal chatbots. And we've also now started, all experienced chatbots when we are on websites. But AI chatbots, you'll see, are a little bit more like feel like a human. So one of the things ethically and that I suggest, I didn't have a recent ethics and security and risk webinar. I'm about to do one in October for a client. And September, as I get that material gathered, I'm seeing that that's a big piece of it. Of course, how to create your your business policy, AI policy, but also your ethics on AI. I'm going to add that to the policy. If you're using a chatbot as an AI chatbot to greet people on your website, you want to make it clear that this is an AI. There have been some chatbots that I've used recently where I'm asking it to give me a human. I can tell you're an AI chatbot, I need a human, and it will argue with me to say, no, I am human. Even though when I'm asking it a question in a certain way, I could see it's in an endless loop, and it was definitely not human. So you want to be authentic and transparent when you're using a chatbot or an AI agent, only because it gives you more trust with the interaction that's going on. Because if you're going to lie about that, what else are you lying about, right? So why chatbots for business? So why is this all the rage? Why are people looking at putting AI chatbots on their websites? Well, let's think about it. Well, what's the difference between an AI and a blog? Maybe I'll start with that before I get to this. A blog helps Google or search engine optimized websites be optimized so they can be found by the target keywords that they're using and their clients are searching for, right? So if you happen to sell a certain product and you're talking about the benefits of that product, people are looking for the benefits of that product, your blog written properly will come up, right? So that helps the SEO, that helps your website become relevant because it has educational information about that topic on there. So it becomes relevant. And Google knows that that's what your website is about because it's seeing the blog in there. Similarly, if you have a YouTube property on your site, like a video that you've hosted in YouTube, which Google owns YouTube, and you use the right keywords in the YouTube property, it also helps your website SEO. Okay, so that's helping my website SEO. Do chatbots also help your website SEO? What do you think? The answer is no. Chatbots, AI chatbots, do not help your website SEO because of the nature of the script it's written in. AI chatbots cannot be read by or indexed by Google. So why do we do it? Because once a blog gets them to your site, once your site attracts somebody to it because of the smart information that's in it, that you have done all of your activity properly, well, then what happens is the chatbot keeps them on your site. The chatbot now helps them find what they want on your site. It's more user-friendly, so they will actually purchase. They say that the conversion rate for having a chatbot on your site converts clients. Without a chatbot, it's only 1% if you're lucky that will convert a client to actually purchase on your site, right? So having a chatbot increases that tremendously. So together, the blog and the chatbot are a powerful combination, which is why we put a chatbot on your website. Okay, so that makes sense, right? So, chatbot versus blogs, this is what I've just talked about. Blogs help SEO directly. Chatbots don't boost SEO, but the widget runs and will help people stay on your site. So it helps indirectly because you have better engagement and you also have better SEO, you have better data understanding what people are talking about in your website. So that's critical as well. So, what is an AI agent then? I talked about it briefly when we just kicked off the meeting. So, it's defined as an AI system that doesn't just chat, but it also takes action across multiple apps if you attach it to multiple apps. So, what you want to think about is you kind of do a step back and say, what process do I do online? Do I do on my computer? Basically, it doesn't even have to be online, on your computer. Is that correct? That could be correct. Yes, on your computer, uh, that you open up different apps, perhaps your mail, perhaps your Excel spreadsheet, perhaps a Word document. What perhaps you turn it into, and then perhaps you send it out. So are they steps that you take repetitively through the day? So if there are, this is where you can use an AI agent to help you. Are you doing a lot of cut and pasting for content or an email that comes in? You want to track it, or you wish you would track it, but you don't because it's too much work? Or are there files that you look for? Think about that also. Are there files that you look for through the day? Oh, geez, I know I created that document. Now I'm going to have to recreate it because I can't remember what I called it. Or I know I created that PowerPoint. Where did I put it? And you can't find it because you have, if you're like me, way too many files. Well, this is where AI can help you because the AI agent can go through all of your files and find the ones you're actually talking about. It's more powerful than the one that we have the search top in the top right corner of our computers. It can also, though, if you're on Teams and you have a shared environment and you've given access to each other's file saving system, that storage system, that sounds better, you can actually search for files not in just yourself, but other people who you've collaborated on a file with. So then you'd be able to come up with all those files. And you could come up, why are we coming up with these files? Perhaps you want to work on them, but it can actually go in and give you a summary of what was said in all those files. Perhaps you're looking for a summary to move forward so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Perhaps you have a financial that are on the spreadsheet, on the storage file system as well, and you're looking for a summary of the financials. Perhaps you're looking for how you did 2 years ago on a certain aspect of your business, and you're asking it to look for that. So it's going to look for that in your financials. And it's doing that while you're doing something else. And now it's doing it for you and it's putting it into a pretty cool report, if you like, and sending you the email. So it's look for the files as one step. It summarized it for you as another step. And it sent the report out to perhaps just yourself or several people if you've asked it to. So here are some examples. Search the web and what it thinks is important, and reports or blogs. So what I have it doing often is I'll have it look for certain content for a certain topic on recent blogs that have just come out in the last week, sometimes the last day, and ask it to create a blog for me that summarizes the most important blogs that it found in the last little while. So think about that. Because I am the expert in a certain field, so I will go through the material it recommends and see if I agree that this is the most important ones that it has found. And if it is, then I'll use it. If it's not, I'll say, I like number 4, I like number 1, but I need a few others because the other ones are not relevant or I don't like the source. So it's excellent. It's like having that really smart helper helping you all the time. Summarizes client emails, like I said, that's important. It's a big time saver. It'll go through not just client emails, all your emails, because as we all know, we get so much spam these days. So I love that it goes through it and it knows the difference. Send proposals. So if you're looking to send out proposals, you can have it look for possible places that you might send uh, answers to proposals. I would, of course, look at them before. I wouldn't send them automatically. I would have them look, create the proposal, send it to you, and then you decide if it's ready to go, and then you send it out. And book meetings and follow-ups. So there's so much you could have it do. And again, you think about which of these do you want to do more often, or are you already doing and it takes up so much of your time? So an agent can integrate, take action, and automate a workflow. So business examples, as I already said, can automate follow-up after emails, but after webinars. And so I have this webinar that I'm doing right here, and I have the video replay. So I can, as soon as the replay is finished, have it just sent out. But I like to go in and edit it myself afterwards and take out the front part where I'm waiting for people. If there are questions that I think are sensitive along the way, I'll take those out so that it's flawless for you when you get it as a video. But I could have it sent out automatically. Automatic research on competitors. I have people who have taken the micro-credential course who gets every Monday a research description of what their competitors did the week before on their websites and on social media, and what's working and what's not working for their competitors, and therefore what they've learned from it, and they can now suggests to them what they should do. So that's huge. So customer service, handling complex questions with humans. So it'll answer the complex questions, but it calls it a triage because it also has human input. I call that hybrid. And I prefer that all of these steps be done in a hybrid fashion because you want to make sure that AI isn't going off on a tangent or missing something really important. And then apps needed for workflows. Zapier seems to be the most popular one, the most cost effective, where you can download your Zapier app or use it in the cloud. And in that system, you're able to connect your email to a spreadsheet. So in that, if you wanted to collect from a spreadsheet someone's email, their name, their description of what they said, perhaps the subject, and action dates that action need to be happen, you need to create a spreadsheet first that has those columns. So that's simple to do. We all know how to create a spreadsheet with columns. That's as technical as you're going to get. You have to create these spreadsheets with columns. Then from there, you're going to say to your Zapier or to whichever tool you choose to use, and you're going to say, okay, please connect to my Gmail account or to my Outlook account. Please connect to my Google Sheets or to my Excel, whichever type of spreadsheet you're using. Please input this information when these emails come in. So you're going to then have it all in the spreadsheet for yourself when it comes in. Pretty cool, right? And then you may want to have a summary email that it's going to reply and tell it to reply to them for you as well. Or you want to see it first, which I prefer to see it first before it sends out. You could also have a report sent to you, and that report could give you the sentiments of were they happy, were they sad, were they, what was their attitude, and what was the subjects about in general from all of the emails that came in. So this is how people are using it for customer satisfaction. Then you could ask it what you should do next. Blows you away, right? So I have here for you different examples of different ways that you can create your own AI agents. And one of the ways that people are creating AI agents, like I said, is Zapier is popular. The other one is actually you can create an AI agent now with ChatGPT. So a simple agent. You can also create an agent with Copilot if you have the enterprise system, your Microsoft Enterprise. You can also have Copilot in it, as you know, and in that you can create agents. And with this now creating agents, it's a safe environment. You're actually working in a secure environment within your own company's firewalls and VPNs within your Microsoft world, and that's powerful, as we know. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. And then now you can also combine an agent with a chatbot. So blow your mind. And these are things that you're going to see happening more and more frequently. It's a bit sometimes much to get your head around it, but show how a chatbot can be the front door, right? And then the agent does the work. So a chatbot collects information, the agent writes the proposal, and then the chatbot's collecting the information. It can't do anything now. It has the information, but the agent can think and create the proposal with that information, and then the agent can automatically send the email response. So this is how we're working together. So a real estate bot can book showings, rather, the other way around, can book showings, bookings, and the agent can send out reminders and maps to the actual someone coming to see the house. So retail, a bot answers frequently asked questions, and then the agent creates an upsell email. Nonprofit, the bot can answer donor questions. Excellent. And then the agent updates the CRM with who you might want to follow up with. So chatbots answers questions from your own website or PDFs. So what I meant there is I just didn't want to forget this point. When you are creating your chatbot, the tools will say, okay, what's the chatbot's name? That's great. And then it's going to say, what's the subject about? Do you want branding on your chatbot? Do you want it to, what colors do you want? Do you have a logo you'd like on your chatbot? So what do you want it to look like? It could ask you, what tone of voice do you want? What accent do you want? Do you want it casual? Do you want it funny? Do you want it formal? So it'll ask you what is your chatbot? Who is this chatbot? Give us their personality. And then it's also going to ask, where is this chatbot getting its information from? So is it getting its information just from your website? So it's going to know every nook and cranny on your website, things that may not be obvious to the person that's coming to visit, but is it seeing everything on your website? Do you have other links that the public can't see that you'd like the chatbot to know? So you can also feed those links to the chatbot. Do you have PDFs, like documents that you, or even product information in a brochure format that you would like the chatbot to also understand and be aware of? So you feed all this to the chatbot. Do you have suppliers whose services or products you sell, and you would like the chatbot to also be familiar with all of the suppliers' content? So then you feed it all of those websites as well. So as you can imagine, the chatbot apps that you create, some are free, and those ones normally you can put in just a little bit of information. As they become more complex or more costly, it's because you're going to feed it. It's going to have the ability to feed it more information. It'll have the ability to have a different personality. So as you have more features available to the chatbot, it will cost you a little more money, but they're still not prohibitive. The chatbot's fees are cost effective. It's something we create for businesses, and I'm finding it to be delightful as far as I love the feedback we're getting. The businesses are finding them very helpful. You can go on some of the chatbot apps that we use. You can go in and check to see what the chatbot's doing at any time and interrupt it if you want, and have a real human stop the flow and start answering instead of the chatbot. So that's very helpful as well. So some of them are real time. So it depends on the type of service you're offering, how critical it is, that you need to be very aware of what the chatbot is saying. So you can also have chatbots that are just internally focused. So they are helping your staff answer the questions to your clients. So a lot of help desks are creating chatbots to help their staff answer the questions. Because as you and I know, You'll often call it a help desk and receive one answer, call that help desk, and you're receiving a totally different answer on a different day, depending on what the human knows. So these chatbots help your humans education level, just about knowledge level, I should say, about the product and service just skyrocket. So the ROI, better SEO, well, that's not completely true. Once you get them to your website, they get to stay longer. Fewer repetitive calls, they're available all the time, and if done properly, customers are very happy. So benefits of chatbots, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Enhance customer engagement through personal interactions. Increase lead generation because you're able to, with the chatbot, ask what their names are, what their emails are, and you're able to now collect that. And because all of the information that's happening, all the conversation that's going back with the chatbot is captured, AI can summarize how happy they were, what the questions were, so you have more intelligence about those calls. So understanding, and because it understands natural languages, the conversations go smooth. So these are all things I already talked about. Let's see, I talked about all this as well. So now let's talk about AI agents. So implementing a roadmap for an agent. So how would you start with an agent? So I'm going to show you a couple videos towards the end here on how you create your own chatbot and how you create your own AI agent. But in case I run out of time, I thought I would just go through the PowerPoint first, talk to it so you have that as a video, and then you have time to do these videos on your own time, because some of them are lengthier, and I'm only going to show you a few minutes anyhow. So AI agent implementation. So how do you start? So you pick a highly repetitive task, as I mentioned, and then you decide if it's a chatbot only, or if it's a chatbot and agent. So what do you actually need? And if it's hybrid, I should have a third option in there. So are you going to have it hybrid, chatbot only, AI and AI agent and human? And you want to choose a no-code. These are the no-code options. I have programmed in Zapier and I have programmed in Tidio. They were both very effective for what I needed. ManyChat I have not tried, but it has a really good reputation as well. So those are the three chatbot tools I'd recommend. And chat agent, AI agent tools that I recommend. I have used Tidio for a chat bot, just to let you know, and I've used Zapier for the AI agent. That is how I use these tools. So Tidio will do both the chat bot and the agent. Zapier will do both the chat bot and the agent. And then ManyChat I haven't used, but I believe it'll probably do both as well. So test internally first. So you create the flow through the chat bot. And then before you go public or before you have people using it, you want to test it. That makes sense, right? You want to make sure you're getting the output that you want. I find with the flows, they can actually give you an error if you didn't flow it properly. So you definitely want to test that. So I like adding a human fallback. If the client that's working with the chat bot runs into a problem, I don't like saying to it, like going in a repetitive loop. I like going and giving it the option to talk to a human. So the costs, there are some that are free, but they're really range monthly from $50 to $200, which is so worth it. Because if you want to think of an hourly rate that you would hire someone to do these kind of things for, or you're taking away from somebody who is highly effective of doing something else to answer client questions, which are significantly important, this just allows your company to reach a lot further. So they're pretty cost effective. So how Copilot creates AI agents, and this is fairly new, that you could with your Microsoft system create agents. So it used to be that you could only do it through Enterprise. You can also do it through your 365 Copilot. You can't do it through your basic home Copilot, Microsoft rather. subscription. You have to upgrade. So if you launch Copilot, you start by opening up Copilot Studio through your web or your Microsoft Teams. And then this is your command center for building your agents. You're going to find in the top right corner, it'll say create agent. Or you can look at all of the agents, your own agents, the ones you've already created. So you describe the purpose of your agent in natural language, whether it's answering customer queries, automating reports, guiding users through a workflow. You configure the input and context, define what kind of data your agent will use. You can connect it to your SharePoint, Microsoft Graph, and other sources of knowledge that it needs. Could be connected to, like I said, your SharePoint or to all your files. If it's going to have to look through past PowerPoints, for example, add knowledge and automation. Enhance your agent by integrating automation features and domain-specific knowledge. This helps it respond intelligently and take action when needed. Refine and test, run simulations to make sure your agent's performing. You can tweak it, tweak the responses, the workflow, the triggers, and make sure it behaves as intended. And then once you're finished, deploy the agent in your organization. I would keep it private until you've tested it, then release it to your team to actually use as well. So agents can be tailored for customer support, internal operations, personal productivity, or more. So retrieval, there's 3 types of agents I'm thinking. Retrieval agents finds and summarizes information from trusted sources. That in itself is powerful, right? We all know we've got files all over the place. Task agent automates repetitive tasks like sending updates or generating reports. So now you can have the best reports in the world generated automatically with less time. And then autonomous agents working independently towards goals, escalating to humans only when necessary. So then the kind of things that you want these 3 tasks to do is customer insight agents, surfaces key business trends from what it's seeing in the data. Leadership insights helps teams to prep for meeting, get ready for a meeting that's coming up. Marketing agents assist with social media content, trend analysis, engagement optimization, what keywords you should use, and what are the gaps in what you're currently doing that your client needs as far as their pain points. Automated knowledge and retrieval. Agents can instantly summarize documents located in files and pull out complicated updates from SharePoint. So that's pretty cool, right? Then agent equivalent to traditional tools. So these agents aren't just reactive, they're proactive intelligence and designed to help you reclaim your time. So they're not taking your job away, they're helping you reclaim your time so you can do things that you're really good at. So traditional tool email filter. So what Copilot or Gemini can do in your email is email organizer that learns your priority. So it's going to understand which emails you want to read and how quickly you want to read them and optimize your response to them. Search bar. Smart Assistants finds and summarizes much faster than the search bar does. That was in the top right corner. That is still there. Micro or macro scripts autonomously tasks with decision logic. So remember the prompts that you know how to use, you're going to be using that through your agents and it will respond appropriately. So you're talking to it as a human. So in order to build your own agent, this is how it works. And so you're going to open the builder, name and brand it, core instructions in ChatGPT, Explore GPT. These are actually create your own ChatGPT, your not agent, but your own chatbot. Sorry about that. So we've moved on to chatbots. So chatbots, they are all created similarly, depending on what tool you're using. Some will allow you to get a little further meaning that you have a tool that does not allow you to add in documents that you want your chatbot to be aware of because you didn't upgrade. So, or just the capabilities of the tool are such that it doesn't allow for documents, it only allows for websites. I've seen others that only allow for websites, but that and not, and it others that allow for documents but not websites. So it's interesting. So it depends on the tool itself. So you open the builder, the chatbot builder. It would want to know your name and your colors of your chatbot. It's going to want to know your brand. So what often happens with the chatbot is it's going to give you the code once the chatbot is done, and you can put that code right into your website, which allows you this, pop up in the top right, bottom right corner to show up, which is your new AI chatbot. So it shows up on your site as a, how can I help you? And of course, you will write down what you want it to say once it pops up for the first time. So the core instructions in ChatGPT, click Explore Chatbots. It has already all sorts of pre-made chatbots for you. So it has already pre-made chatbots that you may just want to use as they are and just change the branding. So that might be a good way to start with your chatbots. Well, that reminds me, on the workflows, when I was talking about the workflows from Copilot that exist or Zapier, both offer pre-made workflows as well. So you may want to look at some of those and say, you know what, I'm going to use this pre-made workflow that already exists here that I've seen, and start with that. Read your emails and have it fill in a spreadsheet, and then perhaps give you a report and see how fascinating that is for you and how helpful. And then from there, you'll be able to say, oh, I wish it could do this as well. And it'll do that for you. So I would start small. So explore existing chatbots, or you can create your own chatbot. You'll see a preview on the right side on the settings on the left and settings on the left. And again, I'm going to show you, have a video here for you shortly where it'll take you steps by step how to do that. So add a name so that you can find it again later, a short description, and a logo if you want to the chatbot. So that works quite well. And then the example, so I have an example that I'll show you here, Sophie's Small Business AI Coaching. So that's a chatbot I created where you can go and ask it any question you like, the bot about AI. And I've given it content that I think it should have about AI, different websites that I trust, and my own material. So that's pretty cool. And I've given it an avatar and a logo. And so the tone, the sources, and the guardrails. What is it that I wanted to say? I don't know enough about that yet. I'm still learning. Or please contact Sophie directly. So when is it that it's going to admit it doesn't know something? And then we go on to knowledge. So knowledge. Where else is it getting its information from? Meaning its capability. So it, in this case, can upload PDFs, frequently asked question URLs, price lists. So it will then, once you upload that, it's going to take a while. And it's going to read it all in detail. And now it will know all of that information. So the bot will refer to all of this information as answers. And so it'll go through those, and that's all it's going to answer. You can say, no, do not go outside of this information. So it only answers that information. And some of them will actually generate images if needed. So I'm not sure I like that part yet, because as we know, the images are just improving. And then there's advanced options that I haven't really gotten into yet, external apps and APIs. So what happens there is you can actually have the chatbot connected to your booking system, if you have a booking system, so it can book for you a client appointment, which is really cool. So you can give it conversation starters. So as you can see, the chatbot, instead of just being a blank box, once they come to the chatbot, you can say, I want you to have these 4 questions there already. So you're giving it a hint. So if you're a real estate agent and you know you have waterfront properties, you have properties in a certain area, you may want to have a box that says search Sophie's waterfront properties, search Sophie's properties under 600,000. So you may have certain boxes that you'd like it to have there automatically for you. And in that case, which is excellent, you can change those so easily at any time. So they're not carved in stone. And then you would share, you create it, and then you're able to test it. So you want to test it, make sure things are working before you go live. So here is, now we've run out of time, but here is one that shows you how to create your own agent. And this is from Kevin. I love this guy, as you know. So it's Zapier. So this is how you create your own agent using using Zapier. And what he gives us in here is the link to this, which is how to create your own agent using Zapier. But also he gives you a link to Zapier where you can use his discount. So that also is on the same video, but I also have that link for you right here. Okay, so that's something you may want to look at. Now, this is going into ChatGPT to create your chatbot. Okay, so I'm in ChatGPT, and you'll see on the left side there's something called GPTs. You may not realize that's there. All the things under it are your own chats that you have had already. But over here is the ChatGPT, and in that, when you click on it, this is what comes up. So these are chats. These are chatbots that it has that you may say, yeah, I love this chatbot. I wouldn't mind putting this on my website because I'm a creative writer. I want to give people more knowledge. I want them to come back to my site, and having this there would be helpful. So how would a chatbot on your website not only help with knowledge you have, but perhaps help with client experience and keep people on your website? Some of the tourism agents or agencies that I work with in the area, they have been putting chatbots on their website about their local attractions. So people will come there and stay longer and find out about their local attractions. So that's awesome. And of course, they're feeding it with local attractions, with local websites. So it's very cool. So now to create your own, you click on this top right corner, create, and that's going to create your own ChatGPT chatbot. And once you have created your own, you're going to find right here my GPTs. So here it's a press release helper I already had created in the past, market researcher helper I've already created in the past. So you can create your own, and then it's saved for you, just like these past chats are saved for you. So very straightforward to use. So as you're creating it, I'm in the create mode right now. I've clicked on create. You can see it's black now, so I'm in the create mode. Once it's created, I click on create. So here, the name of it I've put in as Sophie, the description, the instructions. I'm telling the chatbot what I want it to do. I want it to be short answers for clients, professional, approachable manner when asked about services and pricing. It should provide structure and easy to understand explanations. So I would go to ChatGPT and ask for what instructions should I give my chatbot when I'm creating it. So you can actually get ChatGPT to help you create the chatbot, which is pretty cool. And then these are conversation starters where you're going to put your conversation starters. So as you can see, whatever you write here shows up here. So in this case, I've put in all of my services. I've put in some PDFs of proposals that I've sent out. So what it's seeing here is I'm letting clients ask what services do you offer? Tell me about your company. How does your pricing work? What makes your services different? So that's my conversation starters. So you're kind of leading the conversation. And then if they can't find the answers they want, I give them the ability to email me. Pretty cool, right? So that's how you create. And then you click create. It gives you the code, and you're able to put that chatbot on your website. So this is where it's created it, it saves it, and it's going to give me the code. So this is very easy to create on ChatGPT now. And here is another short YouTube from my favorite guy here that talks about best chat bots. I think he talks about 6 chat bots that he believes are the best, Claude being one of them. So those are cool. And then this one is a video on how to create your own chatbot with Copilot. So that again is something fairly new that you can do. If you're in a Copilot environment, you may want to look at this to create your chatbot with Copilot. And then this one talks about AI chatbots using Copilot. So you again just look. This is a very short video that will help. And then this is if you're looking to implement your own chatbot, these are the steps that I take to implement my clients' chatbots. I have a kickoff meeting where we define the scope and the content that you want to feed the chatbot with. And then we decide the tone at that time, the escalation logic, if there's a human handoff point or not. And then we decide what that human handoff point will be. Are we capturing this information in a CRM tool? And then the platform compatibility. What website do they want to put this chatbot in? And then I figure out how is it compatible to the different tools I can create the chatbot with. Bot training and testing. I will make sure I have enough different people from their company that I can test it with, and then launch and monitor it. I want to launch it on their live site, and I want to monitor the answers for accuracy and drop-off rate to see when they stop talking to it. And then again, possibly after they launch the chatbot, you want to look at scheduling regular reviews to see if you should be updating the logic in the chatbot. And perhaps there are better chatbots that have come to light that you may want to implement instead. And then this is something we talked about in a past webinar that I thought you might find of interest. But Copilot has just launched something extremely powerful in Excel as an Excel AI feature. And it's just kind of an add-on I have here as a video for you to look at that you might find extremely useful. So take your time and look at that when you have some time. And that's it. Thank you for joining me today.